you are your own enemy. Your fear of failure is so big.
The desire of success should be major or bigger than the fear of failure.
I think that my intent as a leader is to be firm, to be fair, and to be friendly. The number one reason for a business to fail is not necessarily the fact that whether they have good clients or not, it's cash flow. I would say believe in planting seeds, believe in doing good things for people, even if today you don't see a return on that. But one day you're gonna see that it's gonna manifest and it's gonna grow.
The construction world is fascinating, but it's not perfect. Behind every building you admire, there are creators, dreamers, and problem solvers bringing ideas to life. Join me as we uncover the stories and insights of the professionals shaping the world around us. Hello everyone, welcome to Creative Blueprints. Thank you for watching this video. This one is very special. You cannot imagine how many times we rescheduled this episode, but I'm so happy that you guys can watch this one. Short story, this was early 2025 and I was traveling to Mexico, and my family, because I usually go to visit my family during the holidays. And my family asked me, oh, are you planning to move from your work? Are you enjoying your job? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Of course, I will be there and everything is fine. Then I returned to Austin in January 2025, and I received a text from Cesar Fuentes. And he was asking me if I would be interested to have a conversation with him. Fast forward, we are here in Cabinet Couture. So we specialize, and I'm working in this beautiful place that you can see behind me. And this is a beautiful showroom. We specialize in custom cabinetry. And I'm here finally with Cesar Fuentes and Oscar Botello. They are with Cabinet Couture. He's my boss. And Oscar Botello is part of Q Construction Solutions. Two companies that are fantastic, and you will know why. And I will love that you enjoy this video and just check why I'm collaborating with them and a little bit more about the story behind these two companies. So welcome to Creative Blueprints, guys.
Thank you so much for having us today. We're super excited to be here. Definitely, it's been a journey, and there is so much that we are anxious to tell you. So what I can tell you is it's been a long story for us. I started about 25 years ago in this industry. Q Construction was not yet born, but I was basically remodeling my place, remodeling where I used to live, getting it ready. And for some reason, it was a good balance for me because I felt like it was creative and analytical at the same time. And that's my passion. Technically, I love everything that has to do with art, everything that has to do with numbers. And I found that this was really good for me. So I started in 2001 as a result of that. But fast forward, in 2008, Q Construction was born. And then in 2015...
when really was like...
when we said, let's take it and let's solely do this. Because before then, I was a full-time engineer with a huge team. I had about 200-something employees. I have over $200 million in responsible P&L operations. And everything started moving from the direction in which I was doing this as a side gig to it's time to do it full-time. 2015, I get to meet Mr. Oscar. Mr. Oscar, tell your story. What happened after 2015?
So similar path as I was an engineer working in corporate America, very different job, and we were talking all this time. Cesar and I met, and we're having lunch, and it's like we should do something. This is from the pure entrepreneur spirit, right? And we discussed a couple of ideas, right? Like making, believe me or not, making bracelets with some technology inside and importing doors. There are like a couple of items. And one day I was like, why are you always coming with your pants and all there like you're in a construction site? I said, well, actually, I'm in a construction site. What are you doing at the construction site? So he started explaining me, oh, I have this hobby. Like, what do you mean you have a hobby? What's that type of hobby? Like, oh, I start doing remodeling houses for myself. I was like, what? That sounds like a good idea, like something that can be developed into a full-time business if you want, right? Besides doing it for your own properties or whatever you were doing, we probably can do this for a third party, for somebody else, and pay to get their home remodeled. And that was, I feel like, the first next step for Q Construction. And that was in 2015. Then, I don't know if you want to tell this story, but something happened involving a reality TV show too.
You are famous, Cesar.
Many things that happened, but do you wanna tell that part?
Absolutely.
Actually not, but now that you mention that.
You mentioned it, right? Well, I think it's important for the audience to understand that it's really important for you to follow your passion about what you like doing and the things that actually motivate you to do things. So I was very much into this mission, and I call it a mission because for me, the intention was about people. It was
Correct.
about helping as many people as I could. As you heard, we started in 2008, so there were a lot of people that were impacted by the financial crisis, and they were unemployed. So when things started to develop more was when I said, look, let's take this more seriously, and Oscar was not there yet, and let's create jobs for these people that are in need. And that's exactly how I started. And then that started growing, where it went from me just doing projects that I would sell to suddenly some projects that required people involved beyond myself doing the work as a side gig. And then I was subcontracting to then having the conversation with Oscar that said, look, maybe we can structure this if we were to go all in.
Correct.
And that's going back to my point earlier is if you follow your passion, you never know the opportunities that are going to open up. Because from 2015 to 2016, so many doors opened up for us,
Yes.
even though nobody else knew us. We were new in the industry. We did not have any networks. We did not know about the amazing associations that there are. But we said, let's go after this and let's give ourselves the opportunity to improve with every single project.
I will add one thing, that there are a couple of principles that were always present that I think that I'm sure those contributed to the success. One is treat the client as you will treat yourself. That is like the most important thing, that every single time that we went to do a project, actually, Cesar puts his hat of quality manager, right? And he's like on top of things, like if it was his home, right? And that changed a lot in the perspective of how the project is developed. The other part that we develop in parallel to a very nice product at the end is the experience that the client has since day one. Is be very respectful and understand what is important for the client. Some clients are all about budget, some clients are all about finishes, a combination of all of them, timing. So be always on the perspective, be very empathic with them and understand what is their main need and their main concern in a project. So that helped a lot too.
And that's where we started. That was the foundation.
That was the
We're like,
foundation.
there's a lot to learn. there's a lot to do. And then you fast forward a year later, one of our projects was actually submitted for HGTV. That was done by the owners.
Correct.
It was not done by us. The owner decided, well, if I get on board with HGTV, if they actually take my project, HGTV is not just going to film, it's going to help with some of the financial cost of the project, and maybe we can expand the scope. That was the initial conversation with the client and HGTV.
Correct.
But HGTV has their own production team, has
Correct.
their own contractor, has the whole process is in place, and us as contractors would be in the background. We would never be visible, right? But earlier I was mentioning how things happen when you really have a good intention, a passion, and purpose. For some reason, the GC from HGTV, I don't know if you remember this, he couldn't make it. He couldn't make it to Austin. And this is the one that would have appeared in the TV
Correct,
show.
on the TV. Yes, I remember.
So the producers from HGTV turn to me and say, hey, would you like to be on camera? Would you like to film HGTV? And initially I'm scratching my head because I'm thinking, and this is the part that is so important, the fear. As you're creating a business, fear is your biggest obstacle. And I say that with a big, loud tone. That's the biggest challenge that entrepreneurs have. And is that you are your own enemy. Your fear of failure is so big. And from that point on, I remember, Oscar, that we said, let's have a slogan. And we said, our fear, our desire of success, it's always gonna be bigger than our fear of failure.
So that was one of the parts that I want to share with you guys, but he already shared now.
Yes.
Because I remember that for me was that phrase had a lot of impact when we were talking about developing a business and a new adventure. I remember we were in the truck together, like driving to grab a hamburger. And I was like, what is that paper that you have? Like, for real, this is for real. A written paper in the dashboard. And it's like, is that a note that you have? Like, like the supermarket note? And I grab it and he said, exactly that. The desire of success should be major or bigger than the fear of failure.
It was an equation.
And it's not an equation because it has the symbols. And I was like, wow, this is very powerful. Yeah, it's a very powerful message. And I agree 100% in that one, because when you change that mindset, you start seeing everything different. And it doesn't matter if you have the knowledge, you can acquire the knowledge, you can educate yourself, you can be part of that, but you can't just say like, I'll do it and that's it. It's like you have to really believe that you want to do it, and there's no way that you can. You have to be successful. That's the main thing. For me, it was very, very, very powerful, that phrase, and I'm like, okay, this is real. This is serious. This is something that we can develop, and that part it resonates a lot with me, and we haven't forget about that part. I think now we have a very different dynamic day to day, right? In the company, we have a lot of stuff going on, but there's always that, because every time that we find a new opportunity, let's try to attack it that way. It's like, okay, how can we? It's new for us. Okay, we educate ourselves, we learn, we read, we investigate, and then we do research, and it's like, okay, that's it, right? That's how most businesses are born, for real. That's something that happened, and it's not a magic ball or a magic trick where you're just like, it's just do it.
Yes. Besides that, it's very enjoyable to work with them. It's not only because they are here, but really it's very enjoyable. It's so fun. We have a lot of fun working together. And you guys are very problem solvers, and you are very, you have this mindset of engineer behind, which I really appreciate as a designer because we are like this creative part, but also the engineers. Even if you think that they are like they're like a mind square or something like, no, it's very creative. The way that engineers solve a lot of the issues and problems are, and ideas that sometimes the client is just like coming to the showroom and just like they have an idea, but they don't know how to execute that. So it's like the combination of the creative part and the technical part what makes successful a project. So a question that is not here actually,
Okay.
and I like to ask it always, is that we are in the construction part. So what do you think that is your happy place? That can be your house, that can be a restaurant, that can be another country, that can be a spot in the world. What do you think
great
when you are there, you say, this is my happy place and I can be here forever?
For me, it's really easy. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised there, and I lived there till I was a senior in high school. And then I came to the States to go to college. But every time that I go back, there is an immediate flashback of great memories of the smell, the ocean, the innocence of life in those years that I really enjoy. So for me, my happy place is going back to that setup, to go back to the beach over there and to just relax, and it cleans everything that is in my mind, in my soul, especially when I spend time with my family, because I often go with my family, my wife and my 2 kids, and we just get to enjoy the moment. It's wonderful, and that makes me really happy.
Nice.
What about you, Oscar?
I have many happy places, but so similar story. I was born and raised in Monterrey, in Mexico, and well, every time that I go with my family too, obviously time with my family, my home, I think like a special place. The park when I walk the dogs too, it's a very simple activity that gives me a lot of peace now, and I enjoy it a lot. And you mentioned something very interesting at the beginning of the question, that we have a lot of fun in the office. So that's another good thing that I forgot to mention when we were trying to start this adventure. It was like, okay, let's have a lot of respect for the client. Let's do these things right, but also let's have a very nice work environment. Let's do something that we like, that we all enjoy. So that's another thing. Like, honestly, this is we have weeks where it's like, oh my god, there's a lot of work, but we have never had something like, oh no, I can't make it anymore. It's like, oh sure,
It's perfect.
it's part of it, and we have a lot of fun. And the other part that I really like is the problems are always different. There's always something new. There's solving these issues when something happened, right, unexpected, and like, oh, how can we solve it? So that's another part that I enjoy a lot. So I will put it like that, like being in my home with my family, visiting my hometown. I really love Austin, and walking with the dogs everywhere. That's nice too.
That's cool. All right. Are you guys ready for the activity, the
Sure.
dynamic? Okay, so you already know I have some chips of Sherwin-Williams, some of my favorite colors. So I will give these chips to you guys, and each color is a different question. So just let me know what is your favorite.
I will go with the first one. So that's easy.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
this is the dark green.
Dark green. Okay. So it's rockwood dark green. That's fun. How would your team describe you in 3 words?
You need to ask the team. I don't know. I need the team here to answer that question. I will say
We are the team.
yes. Well, you answer the question for me. Yeah, you guys answer. I'll answer.
What do you think? I mean, what is your perspective that how people perceive you as your team, as a team member?
You want me to
I will
take a
say-
stab and then you add?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to think.
This is what I'm hoping the team would think of me, right? Because the team is not here to give their feedback. But I think that my intent as a leader is to be firm, to be fair, and to be friendly. I think that those are three things that I try to express in my type of leadership, because there is certain things that you have to make the call as a leader.
Yes.
It is only up to you to make that decision. And everybody else is looking for your leadership to drive the company. So you cannot be wishy-washy. You have to make a decision. And you have to give yourself grace as part of leadership that says, look, we are going to make mistakes, but we can learn from them, right? But that's the part of being firm. Fair is, let's keep everybody in mind. It cannot just be one-sided. You know, all of the decisions, everything that we do is all the way from the client, like you mentioned earlier, on through all the way through every single employee. Doesn't matter the role, doesn't matter the title.
Correct.
You know, what's going to be best for everybody. And I try to keep that in mind and be fair in every single aspect of what we do every day. And then lastly, friendly. You want to be approachable. We want to have fun.
Yes.
Right? We want to laugh. You don't want it to be robotic. You don't want it to be, you know, corporate. We already worked in corporate. I spent close to 15 years in corporate, wearing suits, ties, you know, being extremely tight in the way that I manage an operation. Now it's about having fun.
Correct.
And building up. And that's what I would say is my style, and what I would hope that my clients or my employees and the people that surround us, the subs, the vendors, that everybody perceives from my leadership.
I would say in my case, probably approachable, reliable, and very goal and problem solving oriented. I deal with a lot of different things on the company, and that makes my work fun too. But yeah, no, I actually have a very good time with everybody. Like, I think it's a very nice environment. This is one of the things that I always mention when we interview people for the company. There's always like, well, this is a very nice place to work with. Like, everybody has this good relationship, and we enjoy that and having time. We spend a lot of time together, so we better
Yes.
do this right. And there's so many other variables going on in the world at the same time that why do we need to add any drama, right? Here is like problem solving. Everybody's focused on the same thing, making the great product and having a nice service for the client. So that's great.
Very accurate.
It's accurate. Okay.
Okay, so pick the other one.
Olive Grove.
So Olive Grove. What do you want to be as a child, and how did you get there?
Yeah, I can go first?
Yes.
Okay. I always be like a very nerdy, so when I was a child first, I probably want to work with dinosaurs, astronaut, all that, and then I don't know, I get to this point like building robots and all the science stuff. There are periods of my life where that changed and go back and forth. And then I get into college and I went for electronics. So that was pretty much that path. Then I started working in corporate America, and it was very different. I was working in finance, in IT, working for a finance team. So that has been changing all my life. And I have never thought to work in construction. Actually, I enjoy a lot. This is one of these things that, besides playing with the Lego bricks and all that, I have never thought that I will ended up working in construction. I've been in this industry now for almost 12 years. So, yeah, it's very interesting.
What about you, Cesar?
So for me, what I would say is, as a child, I wanted to be an architect, and that's always been my primary career path and what I consistently wanted to be. But then, as I got into senior year in high school, you know, I was thinking that I was loving science, math so much that I ended up going for engineering in school, right? And I ended up going from Puerto Rico to Indiana to a university called Purdue University. And I did both my bachelor's and master's in engineering. My bachelor's is in industrial engineering, and it was focused on improving operations and doing all kinds of methods, processes, improvements in general. That was my focus in college. A lot of simulation, a lot of different scenarios and evaluations. But then as I got to my master's, I started pulling back and going back to this dream of being an architect. And what I did was I did a master's degree in construction, engineering, and management. And what that is essentially combined is, in a perfect world, the civil engineering and construction in theory with an MBA. And essentially you get the best of both worlds, because the university's program was basically classes from the engineering organization and classes from the MBA organization, all combined into this amazing curriculum. And that was fascinating to me, because it introduced me to the business side of things, not just the technical side of things. And it allowed me to start thinking, oh, okay, what does it take to run a business? So as I emerged in life, and of course, we graduated about the 2001 time frame, on September 11 took a beating on the economy. So there were a lot of limited job opportunities then. For me, I got an amazing job as a team leader and process improvements expert for IBM, a pretty big company in New York. And over there, I spent many years improving operations, taking chances, bringing new processes in place, learning from other industries how to incorporate things. And then as you fast forward, then life took us into this journey of construction, which I was not necessarily planning to be an owner. I was thinking, at one point I thought, well, I'm gonna work for one of these huge, mega construction companies. We're gonna be building humongous plants, humongous facilities, airports. At that point, I was thinking I was an employee for one of those huge companies. But then life takes its course, working at IBM, learning a lot about how to run an operation, growing as a leader in that setting, and then ultimately having the opportunity, because of destiny, of doing something and planting a seed on other people that would bring me back. And today, more than ever, I wear my creative hat every day. So it's not just engineering, it's we problem solve. What is the design side of the problem? What is the technical side of the problem? What is the client's perspective on the problem? And then you consolidate all of those perspectives. And that's my answer, my long answer to, I think I'm back in a sense to where I wanted to be. And I'm glad, I'm really glad, and I enjoy it.
I mean, you are in touch with architects all the time now.
All the time.
I mean, that's part of it. Yes. Are you ready for the next one?
Next
Sure.
one.
Okay. This is, oh, wow. I can't see. Fire brick.
Fire break. Okay. This is probably a short answer, and you
Okay.
will know.
Okay.
If your business had a theme song, what will it be?
There's a reason, by the way, why she says you would know. Because Oscar is a professional musician.
I'm going to make a jingle for both.
Yes, promote your band.
That's a very nice question. I'm going to describe the music, not a specific song. But I feel like Q Construction is something dynamic, energetic, fun, clear, clean, very focused on solutions. Those are the words that I can find, and it's like probably like a soft rock music,
Okay.
something like that. Cabinet Couture, in my opinion, is more sophisticated, eloquent. It talks to your senses, so I will probably think more like a jazz, chill jazz music for
Do
Cabinet
you have a
Couture.
particular song in your mind? please go for something from your band.
No,
Because he has a band. I mean, he is a professional musician, as Cesar told us.
Well, that's
so
in
the name of your band is
Easy Compadre.
Easy Compadre. So, what type of music is that?
We do more like world music with electronics, and that's basically it. It's a fusion of things, and I enjoy a lot doing that because of the
Mix and
fusion
everything,
mix
yeah.
of a lot of things. And I feel like this is something that I can correlate also to cabinet, right? It's like we do a lot of things when we do remodel. We grab ideas from all over the place, and it's like this designer. It's it's a
Nice.
mix, and I feel Austin is a potluck too, right? That it's a mix of different things. So I like that.
Nice. Do you have a particular one?
Yes, I do. There's one song that comes to mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't Stop Believing.
Hey, there you
Oh,
go.
I like
Yes,
it.
Don't Stop Believing. I would say for me that's what always resonates from every venture that we've done, through every journey, through every obstacle, through every lesson learned is don't stop believing. Keep going, don't stop believing. Still continue having faith, you know.
That
And
one-
give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
And we're
Treat them
on-
with grace.
On the road again, so we continue on the road. Like we haven't finished. We're just there.
I like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
All right. We are ready for the next one.
Okay,
I'll let you pick this time.
let's do this one. Timeless
Taupe.
topping.
What was your favorite hobby growing up? Do you still have that hobby? You can share with us. Probably.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share mine because you guys already talked about it. So basically, music. I grew up doing music all my life. That's part of me. I don't even see it as a hobby. It's seen more like an extension of what I am. That's basically it. I'm, as you mentioned, I play in a band. I have played in different things, but a lot of time is music just for myself. I know that sounds a little bit a bit shallow or something, but sometimes I just play music and like, I'm sorry guys, in my house, I'm gonna do some noise. I'm gonna do this, and that's another way for me to express.
That's cool.
How about you?
I actually share that as one of my passions. I used to play saxophone as I was
yes.
younger.
Wow.
And yes, and I was member of a band as I was much younger while I was in Puerto Rico. And that was one of my favorite hobbies. Believe it or not, I also used to love skateboarding.
Oh,
So I
Really?
used to do
Okay.
skateboarding.
wow.
That was a surprise for me.
Yes, and you know how many adventures going skateboarding and through the island to different places. But ultimately, I think that my kids ended up enjoying some of that because I would purchase skateboards for them, and I taught them how to skateboard, and we would go downhill and just play with that. Ultimately, life takes a toll on you, and you learn that
That's good. That's why I said, like,
that hobby needs to stop.
let's do it. Very light version of skateboarding. I like it too, but I don't think we should be doing it at this age. But
Right, exactly. So,
we're not Tony Hawk, so
Yeah. Yeah, we were Tony Hawk
we're-
became famous when we were
yes, exactly.
teenagers.
Correct.
So that was that was a thing. And
I feel that
was it.
when we had in the past like hobbies like that when we are young, we were not just wearing like any equipment, extra equipment for
No,
security. And now I feel that if I am just like skating boarding or something like that, I need to wear like my hat, my like protection for my knees,
Helm,
for
everything.
because everything could happen in a second.
You need airbags.
We are so
Airbags, yeah.
yes. It's just like, what? So yeah, it's another way to enjoy those hobbies.
the crazy things that you do when you're young. But
Cool. Let's go for the next one. Probably the last one, but
Okay.
pick the other one.
rain, cloud.
Rain cloud.
Some beautiful colors, by the way.
I like that one. Okay, so what habits or systems help you to run your business with intention?
That's a great question. We have many of them. I will start from the operations perspective because I know that there's also a lot from the strategy that you probably can share.
Yeah, and there's things that we cannot share because
Yes.
those are our secrets.
Correct, the secret sauce.
Right, but I'll let you start.
Sure.
Yes.
We try to we do a lot of internal process. We create them. We try to identify how something works. How we saw that hey, we always do the same activity every week. How can we? I won't say automate it, but how can we make this easier for ourselves and for our clients? So a lot of our processes like payments, invoicing, manage the change orders. We create our own internal processes, and we have about those, and we have those automated, and there's human intervention all the time, but we kind of know what's going on, and that helps us control a lot of the things in the business, right? Knowing and have visibility on your business will always help to run a good business. So if we're able to provide Cesar as the leader a good dashboard and what's going on, he also have the knobs and the controls to move something, because I think that's a lot of business need that part. It's like we're doing good, right? And like, we don't know. Like, oh no, we know exactly what's going on with each project, at what time, in all senses, in the timing of the project, in the span of the project, in the next step of the project. So there's a lot of things that we do in that sense. That's from the operations perspective. I think from the strategy perspective, there's some other things that you can share too.
So in principle, what I would like to let the audience know is that the number one thing is that we practice what is called Kaizen. And what that means is a Japanese word that basically means you're not going to be conforming to the status quo. You're always going to be looking to improve yourself. Okay? And that's in every aspect of our business and of the people. We like to allow growth to happen when it comes to we make a mistake, we learn from it, we expand the knowledge of what we learned from that lesson, we implement methods on how to mitigate or create contingencies so that doesn't happen again. And you create a process after that, but you're giving yourself the opportunity to learn from mistakes. And as you have that mindset and you continue to improve and say, okay, it's a lesson, I'm not gonna stay down, I'm just gonna grow from this and become better. I think that that's the number one principle. The second thing that is important for us is we're not looking at this as a construction company.
Correct.
Our strategy brings solutions that are being applied by other industries in many different aspects. And the fact that the team is so diverse from an industry perspective, from different backgrounds, allows us to do this so well. For us, it's just natural. It's like, oh, the manufacturing industry does this when they have this type of situation. Why don't we implement something like that? The technology industry runs their model as a PMO, and I am a PMP. So immediately, I think from a project management perspective, how to run a business. The financials, the number one reason for a business to fail is not necessarily the fact that whether they have good clients or not, is cash flow.
Cash flow.
So how do you manage your cash flow where you know exactly how you're performing by project, by month, by quarter, by semester, by year? But you have to know that. You have to know your margins. You have to know exactly how much you make at the end of the day after paying absolutely everything. But it's so funny. You ask business owners about this, and they think that I'm talking rocket science. But no, it's fundamentals.
Correct.
And I think that we all need to know that as part of running a business, and then just go from there.
One of the things that, and I know that we take it for granted because we forget that because it's in our DNA, is that we are PMs, like we're project management. And sometimes somebody asks me, like, how do you guys do the project management? Like, oh, I never thought about it because we are PMO. I'm a PMO as well. I used to work with GE, so I'm very familiar with all these processes. And suddenly, it's like, well, we do all these methodologies that we just have them implemented in our DNA. Like every single thing that we do in the company has a project milestone, have all the fundamentals of project management. That being said, the other part that, because I don't want us to feel like that's very rigid, that's very methodical, it's very well implemented. But the other part, it's different. Definitely the people who that works in the company. Like every single company, the most important asset that you have are the persons that are there that are making contribution to all that. So the 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 project management are like the fundamental, the blueprints, right, where you can work with, but also the people there are the ones that you everybody who works on our team to complement and interact with each other, and how we treat the client as the most important person in the room all the time. It's very client driven, and I like that.
Let me add something about
Sure,
that.
absolutely.
Please allow me. I think that that's extremely important because a lot of construction companies struggle with this. Okay, and I'm kind of generalizing, so it's not everybody.
Correct.
A lot of construction company has these mastered, but there's many companies that are looking at this transaction with the client as just a
A
transaction.
transaction.
And they forget that in the end, the client is going to live in the space that you create. The client is going to have a life in the space that you create, and their family is going to be impacted immensely. Not only that, a remodel, construction, it's one of the largest expenses that a family is going to incur in their lives. So you have to take the whole process with respect, and you have to never forget
Correct.
that it's all about the client. You can never forget about them. It's not about a financial transaction. It's not about you gave me this, I gave you that. No, it's more than that. It's about you are creating a legacy in somebody's life, and you are the instrument for that. So this instrument is really important. If you forget about that, then you just become an object.
Correct. And one of the things that I mention a lot to the clients, especially I talk to and interact with them when they're signing the contract and doing all this part at the beginning of the project. The role of Cesar as the CEO and the president of the company changed when the client's there, and he becomes a next layer on top of it. Even more important than the CEO, he became the trusted advisor of the client. So, and don't get me this. I don't want this to get wrong. It's a very important role, because sometimes he put the interest of the client over the interest of us as a company, and I think that's the right decision to do. There's not in a sense that we will get. It's always in the best case, right? And sometimes it's like we can sell these, but that's not what they need. This is, even though this is a more expensive product, service, whatever it is, this is what they need. Let me explain to them and allow them to take the decision. But presenting all these, because there's a lot of companies that they push for the biggest sale, and just a transaction, as you mentioned. And there's always this next level where he's like, remove his cap from CEO, put his trusted advisor. Like when you go with you can compare that with going with your personal doctor, with your personal banker. I don't know, somebody who is have you as the best interest, like your well-being is the best interest for them. That's very important, and I think that reflects also on how and why we have repeat business recommendations. All of these clients, we try all the time to make them happy, right? At the very end, they have a very nice product, but also a very nice experience, because at the end, that's what the only thing that we have, right? Like any company's their reputation, how well people talk about your company, how well people perceive you, and that changes a lot, because next time that they in a party and everybody's like, oh, your kitchen looks amazing, how do you do it? We don't want them to say like, oh, it looks great, but the experience was no. We want them to be very happy, and that's most of the time. I will say like almost all of our clients are very, very happy, and they're also tell them like, you need to call these guys to make your kitchen. You need to call these guys to make your next remodel. That's very important, and then that makes our jobs also easier, right? Because the way we do everything right from the beginning, the next one will be a consequence of that one. We don't have to struggle to convince anybody like, oh, we already did this. This is the testimonial. This is the person who just finished the kitchen. They're very happy, so they recommend you to the next family in the same neighborhood. Or
Nice. Well, that actually give us the secret sauce. You won't tell that to the audience, but actually you did. So we really appreciate that. Actually, I believe, truly believe that the secret sauce is the people that is behind of the company. Because if there are not experts behind, even if there is a designer, there is a whole team that is behind. If there is a CEO, you will have a team behind that can give different opinions and different ways to solve, to give a solution. So that, again, makes a project successful. So I would love that we can close this conversation. Just if you can give a small or a big advice to the future designers, architects, builders, or anyone that wants to be part of the construction industry, what would be your best advice for them?
okay, I would say follow your dream, educate, prepare yourself. The desire of success should be greater than the fear of failure.
That is a good.
It's an awesome
I love that.
quote.
I really love that.
I would say believe in planting seeds. Believe in doing good things for people, even if today you don't see a return on that. But one day you're gonna see that it's gonna manifest and it's gonna grow. And you don't know the potential. And in the journey, as part of the journey, you're gonna get a lot of no's. You're gonna get a lot of obstacles. You're gonna feel down. Some days you're gonna wanna quit. Okay, so have faith, have trust, keep that motto that we share with you, and I would say keep going forward, keep marching forward, do good, and good will come back to you.
All right. Well, this is a moment. I will give you the chance to share with us how can people reach you guys out. We are in the showroom, Cabinet Couture. You can find me here almost every day. But yeah, if you, Cesar can give us the information from Cabinet Couture, and Oscar, you can give us the information from Q Construction. Perfect. I know that Q Construction has also an office that is in North Austin. It's not Austin, right?
Yes,
close
very
to North
close
Austin.
to.
I mean, it's pretty close to 183. So if you can just give me, I don't know, the address, how people can reach you out, phone number, a website, whatever, this is good for you.
So for Cabinet Couture, first and foremost, remember cabinetcouture.com. That's our website. The best way for you to find us and all of the details on where we are. But we're here in this beautiful showroom at 5615 Burnett Road. It's just easy to access, central, and it's just gorgeous what we've done here. And we invite you to come so that you can see this. But at the same time, we're in social media. We like to post the things that we're working on, the things that we're doing, the events that we participate in. So find us in Instagram, for example, at Cabinet Couture ATX, and we're here for you. Oscar, how about
For
you?
Q Construction, you can find us on qconstructionsolutions.com. We are located, as you mentioned, in North Austin, very close to Cabinet Couture. You can find us also on Instagram. It's Q Construction Solutions, ATX. And you can send us an email to info@qconstructionsolutions.com. And if you come to Cabinet Couture, we can also share the context over here.
We are always having meetings together. So sometimes the whole team is here. Where probably we will have a party. You can come, join us. We always have fun here. So, well, thank you so much
you.
for sharing all the information that you have shared with us.
You're welcome.
It's
Thank you
been
for having
very
us.
nice to know more about the story and the hobbies and the people that is behind the company, which is very, very important. So thank you guys for watching this video. Of course, go and follow us on Instagram at _creative blueprints, my professional account at mitsiavila.designer. And you can go and check all the YouTube channel, all the episodes that we have. Of course, we are preparing the next season. And what else? That's it. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you.
being part of this again. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.